Hey everyone, it's Angela Wolf here, behind the scenes. Today's really behind the scenes. We are officially in the she shed, and the she shed, the air conditioning is not working today or yesterday. And I think it's registering 88. And I know you all know that I love being out in the sun and on a boat, but that's outside, not inside. So I have been working. Make sure, can you all hear me okay? I see Cindy says, let's see, hold on a sec. Better? So if you can't hear me, click refresh. Hold on. If you can't hear, there you go. Ha! So some people have no sound and some people do. All right, let's see. Sound. No, I'm not muted. Okay, y'all can hear me fine. Just turn this off. Half of you have sound and half of you don't have sound. How could that be? Hold on. Back. Great. All right. I have a fan. I had a note on the screen to put clothes on because this is officially a she shed, but it's hot in here. So here you go. This is what I'm making. And the challenge was, I'm just checking. Hold on one moment. Some of you can hear, some of you can't. So if some of you can hear, it's obviously not on my end. So refresh your page if you can't hear. Good. How do I refresh it? I can't help you with that. Hi, Kristen. All right, well, I'm going to keep going because half of you can hear me, and you can go back and watch from the beginning if you can't. What? That's really weird. Oh, thanks, Celeste. All right, there. I have every speaker on, so, all right, thank you. Thanks, guys. Sorry for the little delay. Thanks, Helen. Okay, so I was put to the challenge to make this. So remember this video with Mr. Domestic? I'll put the link in here if you didn't see it. So he showed me how to do my first quilt block, which, by the way, was very interesting. I just whipped this fabric out of nowhere. So the challenge was to put this into a garment. All right, I'm reading I can see you all rolling. Now you can get back in. Perfect. Yay. Oh, good. The leggings. I have more to put up there, Cindy, by the way. So by the way, just a little housekeeping for all of you in the Fashion Sewing Club that have the free leggings pattern. I have something that's going to be posting this afternoon there. And the whole new bolt of fabric came for your kits. And there was something else. So watch out in the Fashion Sewing Club. It'll be sometime between now and the couture jacket class today. So I'll be seeing all of you live a lot if I don't melt. All right, so let me just take my name off of here. Hold on one second. I know it's in one of these. I hope you had a great Memorial Day. If you didn't see me yesterday with May's show, that was a lot of fun. And perfect. All right, so I have some fabric. I'm going to take you over there. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to show you kind of what I'm talking about. I'm thinking of making the Kate skirt, a short Kate skirt. After today, it might be really short, but a short Kate skirt because it would be great to wear over a bathing suit, which is what I'm going to be wearing if it stays like this much longer. So I'll take you over and show you the fabric. You tell me what you think, and I'll go ahead and sew together one more of these, and we'll see what it looks like. Now, one thing, I'm not cutting on the scan and cut today because I did not take the fabric and prep it for the scan and cut. So tomorrow when Mr. Domestic comes on, I'll get it ready for that. So I have to finish this challenge before tomorrow, And then he has a new one for us tomorrow with a new block. All right, so I can see like a lot of you now make the block bigger, definitely. That's what I was thinking, but I stayed with the same measurements because I could see this maybe going like this on the skirt would be kind of fun, although I wouldn't need these little flaps here, but we'll see. Hey, Susan, glad you could make it. All right, so you ready? Oh, and by the way, thank you all for checking on my sister. She's doing well after her 7-hour surgery yesterday. She's doing very well as you could after having somebody dig at your head for 7 hours. But she is home, resting, and she's doing good. So thanks, guys. I have had enough hospitals and surgeries for a long time now, but let's go so. All right, so I'm going to take you over to the cutting table, and I can see your comments, so I will, I thought it'd be cute on the skirt too, Arlene. Okay, so I had a few options. This is a little bit bright for a skirt, so I was piecing together, these were just lightweight rayon blends that I found, and this burgundy was kind of cute. It frays a lot though, so I have to be careful. Either I'm gonna have to serge these edges after I sew them or line them. Here was another rayon I found. A great drape, no wrinkles. That's important for a bathing suit cover-up. And then I have this fabric here. I've had this for a while. It wrinkles just a little, but I made a pair of pants out of this. This is Tencel, if you've ever heard of Tencel. It's natural fiber. So I could not remember what size everything was, and I wasn't going back to watch the videos. So I kind of did the math, and it looked like, that one actually looked like 5 by 5, but I've been cutting these 4.5 by 4.5. If it's right or not, I have no idea, but that's what I cut. So these might be getting even smaller, if you know what I mean. And I'm sure I could do the math and come up with something a little different, but I'm making sure to cut on the grain line. I'm cutting from the right direction this time. I was cutting backwards because of the camera last time, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to cut over my arm or something. That would be a little embarrassing. So this is 4.5, and this one is 4.5. So this is definitely the main part of this fabric, I think, of the skirt. You see I've already pieced some of these together, which I'll show you shortly, but see how good these look? Yeah, I had to test it first. I didn't want to, like, looks like a flag. Oh boy. All right, let's see. So I'm going to do some of this live with you, and then I will take photos of the rest. All right, this way, 4.5. This way. I think this is the hardest part. If I was smart, I would have run in here this morning, treated my fabric so I could cut this out with a scan and cut, because it's the exact same design that you saw yesterday in the scan and cut. How easy would have that been? But I didn't do that, so now I'm cutting. But trust me, before we do the next block, I'm definitely going, if it's in the scan and cut, I'm definitely going to treat my fabric. You're just supposed to spray it with starch, or, you know, there's other, you know, materials that you can use to stiffen your fabric, and then it washes out. I wouldn't want to put a backing on this because I don't want it to be a stiff skirt. And I don't need that piece. All right, so I've got these pieces here. I also found this white, if I wanted to add a little white, but I decided that these two probably would be the cutest combination. They would wash well together. They don't wrinkle. This one does a little bit, but not so much. These both had a similar texture. All right, so I've already cut out a bunch of these little squares here. You can go back and watch that video if you want to watch the tutorial on that. And now I just need a few more of these pieces here. Hey, Amy, I don't know if you're on here. If you guys missed the interview with Amy last week, That was fun to see her refashion. So I've been planning all of the shows for Brother for the month of June. If you have any special requests, feel free to throw them out there. But there's going to be an entire week of refashioning t-shirts in a very fashionable way with Laura. That's going to be a lot of fun. And of course, we have Mr. Domestic on again with his quilt block of the month. Emily will be on. We've got a lot of fun things. It's just going to be spread out a little bit more. So we're only dropping, I think, 2 days a week. 1.5. But Amy, I just got your message that Fields is opening, and I'm so thrilled. And many of you that have been waiting for fabric stores to open, that's what we're talking about. All right, so that's pretty good. Now I need to go. Should I do one more? Okay. So if I'm cutting these the wrong dimensions, I guess it's just too bad. We'll have to make it work. Isn't that what they say? Make it work. Mr. Domestic, if you're watching and you're laughing at me, it's okay. All right, that's pretty good, I think. So we've got a bunch of these. It's pretty easy to see which side is the right side, or else I would mark them with chalk. And a handful of these. Now we need to cut these. Let's see. Some have to be little squares, so why don't I just take a whole bunch? I'm absolutely not doing this by the way you're supposed to at all. I'm just winging it, which is how I usually do everything. Take a few more for boxes. All right. I think they were 2 1/4 is what I cut all of mine. And this looks like 2 1/4, yeah. Make sure. Oh boy. We'll see if this works. All right, that batch is done. Finished, I should say. And now I'm supposed to have a few of these. If I remember correctly, these are cut on a triangle, right? Yeah. And because I'm going to be sewing this with my Kate skirt, I will include photos in the Angela Wolf Patterns group. I know some of you said, why aren't some of the photos in there? Because it's just Angela Wolf Patterns. That's why. All right. Probably should have been paying attention a little bit to the grain line, so hopefully I cut those last triangles okay. Yeah, they look good. That's what you call lucky. All right, grain lines going this way. I haven't decided yet until I sew a couple of these together if I'm going to continue and do the quilting for the entire piece of fabric for front and back. I haven't decided yet. So I guess it'll be kind of up to you. All right, so we have all of our squares cut out, or at least a whole pile of them, enough to get started, right? And now I'm going to grab my flag that I've already sewn and the one that's finished to compare. Let me just pop over here. Hi. Okay, so in case you missed all that. Oh, bye, Cindy. Enjoy your embroidery class. These are all everything I've cut out, and I have white thread in there, so you can see this really well. I've already sewed some of these, but we're going to go back there and I'll sew more because I've sewed some of these and pressed them, but don't they look pretty good? I thought so. So this is not a thick denim. It's a very, this one is tencel, if you've never heard of tencel, and this one is a rayon blend. Both breathable, both don't wrinkle very much. There you go. Oh, you guys want, I just saw somebody ask, what does the Kate skirt look like? All right, I'll show you. So first off, here is the video that if you want to go back and watch this, this was Mr. Domestic, where he showed me how to quilt. And I will put a link to that video right here, in here. There you go. There's that. And here you go. This is the skirt we're looking at, except I'm making it shorter. I don't know how much shorter. It just depends on how hot it gets in here and how quickly I'm going to be wearing a bathing suit. Hi, Sally. Welcome to the party. Okay, it's actually right on my front page. So this is the Kate skirt. See, this is the longer version. It's a little longer in the back than the front. It's a very simple skirt with a side zipper, a waistband, although I could use elastic if I want it to be really comfy. I haven't decided yet, but this is the skirt. And that's what it looks like. Very easy to do. You've seen me wear those all the time. I love those skirts. Here's another photo. This is the one that I quilted. I actually quilted this fabric. That was 2 layers of fabric. If you've never seen, that's in a past episode. So that's the skirt. All right. I'll put a tag in here later, but at least you got it. Okay. So you ready to go sew some more? Let's go check out these flags. And I got to just make sure the iron's on. And we'll sew a handful of these. You can monitor my stitching. And we'll see what this comes out like. All right. Meet you at the sewing machine. All right. Got my whole stash. And let me just make sure my iron is on. I moved one of my irons over here so you could actually see the pressing. I know that I keep moving the iron away from the cutting table. And there's even a little water in there. Okay, so that was a lucky guess. So I've already finished these, but first, let me show you how I got to this point. So I have this on a straight stitch. Again, I'm using the 1/4 inch foot. Here's your LOL. I use this for top stitching. So just for the record, it can be used for other things besides quilting. And I took Mr. Domestic's advice and your advice and just kept stitching these in one super long row. All right, so let's see, grain line. Which way did I do this? Grain line facing which way? Grain line's facing up. So what I'm talking about grain line, you can see how these lines, you can really see a distinct grain line. If I do these the wrong way, they're not going to all match. So I'm making sure all of these have the grain lines going up and down. And make sure your needle is in the center position. I didn't even need a lesson on that one. Because if you're using this foot, that goes right down the center. If you didn't, I can hear you right now because you broke a needle. All right, grain lines facing up. I think what I'm going to be doing here is after I sew all these together, I will go ahead and make sure that they're cut, exactly the same. Because when I started cutting, I think I cut some of them at 4.5, some of them at 4, some of them at 5. I'm sure that could be a problem, just judging by the math on that. But for now, we're just going to sew them together and see what we got. That one definitely is off. Get my hands out of the way. Can you see okay? All right. Actually, I find this quilting to be a little bit fun, which I'm very surprised about. But it's because it's going to go into a garment. Now, this fabric does fray a little bit, So I haven't decided if I'm going to run this through after I sew it through a serger, just a 3-thread narrow overlock to keep the edges from fraying. I'll just do a few more here. How are we doing? Okay. By the way, have you guys tried this? I know some of you said that you were actually going to follow along with this one. So if you are, make sure that you post your photos on Facebook or Instagram and tag myself and Mr. Domestic so we can see. All right. Although I think tomorrow we should make him do the work. All right, that's quite a few. Now we have to do some couple triangles. Let's see. That looks okay. Maybe about 4 of these, you think? Again, I don't know how long this skirt's going to be. We'll just have to kind of wing it. Or maybe, you know, what I might do is I could still sew the skirt together and just piece this in like a color blocking. I have to remember, I don't remember that being on the bias. So if I'm doing it wrong, well, so be it. But I just didn't remember sewing anything on the bias. Do you guys remember? And if it's wrong, I have more fabric. And if it's really wrong, well, we're just going to make it work. Learn as you go, or it's a new quilt design, something like that. You know, I always wondered on the one show on YouTube where Angela Walters was always drinking a glass of wine while she did this. And I used to think, boy, I can't sew when I do that. But, you know, I have to say this stuff is pretty monotonous. And you have the edge of the foot to keep your seam straight. So I guess go for it, huh? I'll stick to my sparkling water at this point. I'm having a hard enough time. But that was a cute show on YouTube. All right. And let's just do one more. And then we'll see what we got. The part that I think I might have a problem with is the cross when you get to each section. But I know some of you know how to do this, so I'll rely on your comments. All right, let's see. So now I have a whole bunch of flags. I think that's plenty for now. And this one I've already pressed, and I looked at the sample. It looked like on these, you had to pick one way to press. So it looks like I'm pressing everything towards the fabric that has a pattern on it, a little bit more of a pattern. Because this one's a little bit thinner. I thought it would be more inconspicuous if it went that way. All right, so let's go press. I'll take you with me. If the camera blacks out, it'll come back on. It's not Friday, so it'll probably work. I know. You guys think it's a joke, but every Friday, the cameras decide to not behave. So let me just go on this side so my arm is not in your way. I think there's a little bit of water in there. A little bit. I need a little bit of water for the steam to make it work with my clapper. Wow, just a little bit of water in there. I guess I need a little bit more. Okay, there must be a faster way to do this. Let's see if I can get more steam out of there. Here we go. This is the last thing I need in my studio today is a hot iron. All right, hold on. I'm going back over here for a second. I gotta stand in front of the fan just for a moment. But what I think I'm gonna do is my iron over there has a iron shoe and it's loaded with water, so I'm gonna go iron over there. Okay, I'm just, Karina, I just saw your comments. Oh, hey, Mom. Here we go. I'm just making sure I didn't miss anything. You should press from the right side to, oh, I do that, Janet. First, I press from the wrong side to make sure it's all going the right way. And then I press from the right side to make sure it's nice and flat. But thank you for mentioning that. All right, so just visit for one moment, okay? I will be right back. Are you pressing open or to dark? I'm pressing, oh, so on these little pieces, these were all pressed to one side. And then these were pressed open. The triangles were pressed open. So at least that's what I had on here. See the back? So these were all pressed open. I mean, no, these were all pressed to one side. And then these were pressed open. Okay, I'll be right back. I'll meet you over at the cutting table because I'll press and then I'll show you what I've done. All right, this will be much faster. I'm sorry, you're just gonna have to visit because I don't have a camera over here at this point. So the triangles, those are pressing open really nice. But first, I always press from the wrong side because if you press from the right side first, you might have actually pressed, your seam allowances might not be totally the right way, or I just need to see what I'm doing first. All right. Ooh, this iron is super hot. I could see how you might need to wear a little bit of, those little gloves so you don't burn yourself. Because these little 1/4 inch seams are itsy bitsy. Itsy bitsy. Okay, and last but not least, I'm going to press all the squares towards one side. And if I remember correctly, Mr. Domestic said if you're going to have them all going towards the same piece of fabric. So I'm having them all go towards the printed one. And then I'll bring this over so you can see. All right, we're getting there. Yeah, I agree. This is a whole new, I can see your comments. This is definitely a whole different meaning to spa day, all right? Okay, this is what I have. So I pressed all the triangles open. And I pressed all of these to one side. Look pretty good. So I'm going to guess that I'm just going to cut these apart to make it really easy. And I'm not going to make sure they're all squared off until I sew them together. Then if I have to do some trimming, by the time I'm done, my squares will probably be like that big. That one needs another pressing. That one doesn't look good. The rest of these look great. I know, I am a bit of a press freak, as you all know. But a little steam in that clapper, man, that really makes these seams open up and they look really good. All right, so I'll meet you over back at the screen. See you in a second. Okay, they are pressed. The backside is fraying a little bit, but you know, I think for this one, I'm just gonna sew it. Now, what I really would do though is run this through the serger. I just don't know if I really feel like doing that right now. Why don't I just make a block and see what it looks like? I could always go back and do some top stitching maybe to keep that fabric down, but I just don't feel like serging right now. Oh, Darlene, you dropped the clapper on your foot. Did it break your foot? That thing weighs over a pound. Oh my gosh. Wowzer, yeah. Okay, now, if I remember correctly, and you can help me. Oh, Patricia, you can turn off the closed captioning. Just touch the 3 little black buttons in the top right. And I have no idea what happened with, hi, Jenny, everybody's sound today. Okay, so it goes like this, right? And then I sew it and then marriage those two or something, right? Let's go try it. It was something like that. Can't be that complicated, right? All right, close your eyes for a second. I'm just bringing you back over here. I told you the camera would work today. It's not Friday. Okay, so I'm just looking at this one here, and I sewed these together and those together. So let's try that. Like that, right? And then you rub them until they meet at the edge. Well, we'll just see. I'm sure with this technique, practice will make perfect. For now, we're just practicing. All right, and then these are more. This is if I decide to make the skirt longer. Okay, let's see. This. Is that right? Yeah. Rub it together. I have a sneaking hunch. I'm definitely going to need to run this through the serger. This fabric is fraying like a hot mess. All right, let's just do a couple more so we can do the square. No, this way. I'm more worried about holding that little piece together to see if it actually stays together. All right, one more. Now these, I definitely cut wrong. That's way longer than that one. Do I have any more in here? Somebody's here. Hold on, guys. Ring doorbell going off. Let's see who it is. Well, the water people must have heard that I needed water in my iron because I just got 2 gallons of water. With one was distilled, which is for my iron. And Kelly, it's not Win. Hey, Barbara. Okay, I'm just going to sit in front of the fan for a minute, square up those blocks after pressing. That's what I was thinking, Christina. That's what I was thinking. So I'll go sew these. We'll do a little bit more. and then we'll do the pressing. Okay. Let's see. My watch has reminded me that we're supposed to be on Facebook Live. I guess I'd be really late if I was going to according to my alarm clock. Okay, that looks pretty good, I think. That's enough for now. Let's see what we got. And it kills me not to backstitch, but that's what you guys said. Don't backstitch. Oh, look at it. It's looking so good. Oh, I love that little sandwiching thing. Oh, I might be a little off there, but who's going to look that close? It got better as I practiced. All right, back to the ironing board. Let's see what we have over here. First things up, I just got to grab that water. Actually, I have some over here. I thought I did. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Distilled water coming up. You see up there? I have a really cute cup around here to fill this, but I think I'm just going to just give it a little bit more because I can't press it if I don't have water. Have to have steam. Is this kind of like when the bobbin runs out in the middle of doing a demo? Looking good. Actually, Barbara, I see you on here, and I got this iron from you. It works great, too, from my friends at All Brands. All right, now. All these little pieces. So, by the way, if you guys watched the apron last week, my favorite thing was those letters. Molly, you are awesome. She sent me a whole bag of letters, which I feel could come in handy with quilting, too. Okay, now I don't remember. Which way do we press it now? Do you remember? Oh, let me look. It looks like, wowzer, one way and then the other? They're all different. So I'm pressing, let's see. It twists when you press? Does that sound right? Because this one's pressing towards, all of these were, I could have done this wrong too. Who knows? All right, let's just see. You open that up maybe. Whoa! That was a burst. I think I have it on wool, by the way. I'd like to get this thing done, right? So it kind of twists open. Does that sound correct? I might have to go read your comments on that to make sure I'm doing that right. But it looks pretty good. And no, I do not have an iron shoe on. So it looked like that. Is that what it's supposed to look like? Kind of what this one looks like. Kind of. I'll try another one. Let's see, it's going towards Matthew. I need to write down your instructions next time. I think that's looking pretty good. All right, 4 more before I sweat to death. I have a feeling that this is going to be sewn at home tonight. With the air conditioner on high. Especially if I have to press all these little things. This could take forever. All right, let's go back over to the fan, if you know what I mean. So if I have makeup dripping down my face, it's for real. All right, so this is what I got. This. I think it looks pretty good. And then the back kind of looks like that, which looks a little bit weird. I could have sworn he said there was kind of a twist thing going on. Let's see. Looks good. Clip some stitches in the middle. Huh, I might it. Okay. Oh, Christina, if people look inside your quilts, well, if they look inside my skirt, that's even more of a problem. So since it's going to be a garment, I'm not going to worry about. So you need to unstitch a couple stitches to connect seam. All right. You can twist the center to make it lay flat. Okay. Then press. Okay. So since we're just going to leave it. Clip next to twist. All right. All right. But what do you think? Did I pass the test? I mean, minus I got to square these off, but okay, it looks pretty similar to this because this would be like this. And then like this. Or do you just make it up as you go? I'll take it over to the table and then I'll bring the triangles. Just getting a moment to fan this. Louise, I totally agree. Totally agree. Thanks, Barbara. Thank you, thank you. I found it in my stash. Imagine that, right? Okay, thank you, everyone. You're encouraging. Job well done. Okay, should we go square these off? Let's go square these off. I'm sure that has to be the easiest part of this entire adventure. Okay. These are extra pieces. Now, if I get really tired of this, I can just do like one little thing and I could stick it on the side of my skirt. I don't think I'd stick it on the front or the back. That might be a little much, but you never know. Let's see what this ends up looking like. So I'm going to use this as my base so I can compare. So it looks like, well, first of all, I got to even these guys out. Definitely some are a little wider than others, but let's see. I don't even need the quilter ruler for this one. And I think I'll go back and give these another good pressing, but they look pretty good. And then this one, a little shabby. Looks pretty good. Right there, that one needs a little cutting. I know I'm eyeballing this, but that's how I do all my garments, and I've been doing it for 20 years, so I can eyeball this pretty good. Not saying that it's going to be perfect, but it'll be darn close. Looks pretty good. Get rid of some of this extra. Notice I put a new blade on. Up in my game. Well, this one's a little bit of a hot mess. So I could see that if you had some of these that were really off, that maybe you would skip them and use a different one. All right, so this is what I got. So now I want the grain lines going up and down on my skirt. So these are all going to go up and down. Okay, so Should I mix them up a little bit? Like, well, it looks like there's one piece like this, and then one piece, I'd probably go like that because I don't want the green lines going sideways. So I can either go this way or the other way. So these two would go together, which I can square these up later, right? I'm thinking. I think I'll sew these and then square them. And then I want to go another one. So if this is like this, and then we'll go here maybe. Oh yeah, because now you get the I'm getting it. I catch on eventually. So now I need to decide if I like the solid color on the inside, or what do you think? Or like this. I actually think I might like that better. And then I'm assuming I would just keep doing this maybe. Maybe go this way. So the diagonal will go back. This is going to be a very small skirt because this is going to take forever. Wowzer. I wonder if I have to have this. Do I have to have this finished by tomorrow, do you think? But I could put these pieces together in other ways. Maybe add a strip of, well, okay, let's see. How long do we need to make the skirt in the first place? Let's be real, right? Let's be real. I'm not in my 20s anymore, but I will wear a bathing suit on the boat. So if I wanted the skirt as short as my shorts, say, we're looking at 12 inches. That's not too bad. I didn't say I was going to wear this thing in public, right? I just have to take a snapshot of it on a dress form. Lose the pattern. Make a pocket for, yes, I should just make a pocket for Molly's. Okay, so arrange the next block and then decide where to join them again. So you arrange one and then you kind of lay them together. Oh, I'm loving your comments. Okay. Could you do the blocks just along the hem? Lisa, that's a good idea. That's a very good idea. Okay, so let's see. Can you put them together, add them to larger pieces, and make the skirt? That's what I was thinking. If I just do a section, maybe down. All right, let's just try this. All right, so these are the two sides that I have to sew. So let's go sew these and then put them together and see what they look like. I think I have it right. Back to the sewing machine. Don't get seasick. Okay, so make sure I have this right. That's one, right? Did we decide to do it that way? Or, oh, darn it, I already forgot. That? Oh, for Pete's sake, let me go get the other one. I still cannot wrap my brain around this one. All right, so finish one block and then figure where it goes. That's what your recommendation was. So when I see this, the part that I love is this part with this triangle here. So technically, I could use this. That would look cool along the hem, down the sides, and then maybe the rest of the skirt's out of this fabric. But let me just see. I got to make sure I'm doing this right. Solid, solid. Actually, I kind of like, I've got the grain lines all going up and down. Like that. How's that? Let's try it. Now this one I just sew, right? You're not really merging any of these pieces together. Now I'm standing up, so if it's crooked, I'm just trying to get out of your way. This one is definitely not the same. Look at that. It's totally off. Guess I better write those measurements down next time. Matthew, I didn't do very good on that one. This is called the adjusted quilt block. All right. So once I square that off, that's not bad, except I don't like that little part down there. I don't like that one. Let's go back to this here. Here, and that looks pretty good. Let's try that. Take 2. I guess that's why you cut these squares small, because if you don't like it, you can dump it. You know, I hate to say this, but I could have made an entire Kate skirt and a matching ruche tee in this time, but we won't talk about that. You got to learn new things every once in a while, right? Okay, that one's better. I think I cut these the wrong length. That's why they're not meeting at the top. What do you think? Because this one's the same way. You know, I could have sworn he said 5 inches somewhere, and these are all 4.5 inches, which is why they're not meeting. Should I just leave it and go with it, or should I change it? Actually, that doesn't match anyways, because that is supposed to be there. Oh boy. Let's see, do I have any more that I could try this one more time? Because this is almost exactly like that one. No, theirs aren't even the same. Could I do it like that and just go all the way down the edge, or do they have to be diamonds? Because actually, that's kind of cute. Let's see, I'll do another one like this one here. 1, 2. All right, and I'm going to do another one like this one here, which is that and that. Yeah, this is definitely a beginner skirt. The only thing we're missing here is Matthew's commentary, which I'm just laughing, wondering what he'd be saying right now anyways. All right, let's go back to the cutting table. On the way to the cutting table, I'm getting a little air. Okay, I just don't know. And then after I cut these apart, I guess you could kind of piece them. You make your own rules, don't you? It's kind of like designing, or do I have to have it just like his? Oh, you're supposed to square up those. Okay, Vicky. Lay it out however I want to. Okay, that sounds good. So you can all defend me tomorrow when he's like laughing. Matthew will be here tomorrow. Today was I'm supposed to sew this thing together. Tomorrow he's showing us a new one. Yeah. Okay. Meet you at the cutting table. Just going to give it a quick press, and I will be right there. Do you remember if I'm supposed to press this open or what? Oh, this is the one that kind of, it didn't matter, did it? But you just had to do it the same for each one? Something like that? Is this the one where everybody argues about which way that they do it? Some like it open, some like it not. Okay, here I am, pressed to pieces. So, I'm thinking after I square these all up, some of these are definitely wozer of a hot mess, but I know that the math at least has to work out, right? So these are all ended up being about 4 inches, which is what it was supposed to be. Just ignore that part because that would drive me crazy. But it's the first one, right? So I'll just say, Ange, give yourself a break. Okay. Like that. If I wanted to go all the way down a skirt, no. Have to be more like, I think I would like it if this went like this way and then back. All right, where's the original? And then I'm calling her a day because I'll go work on this tonight at home. But at least I'm getting started. I have till tomorrow, 4 o'clock to finish this, you know. So this is what this looked like. And then that definitely needs a good pressing. And then this went like that. Oh, yeah. Except this is supposed to be blue. That's supposed to be dark blue. Maybe. Any suggestions, guys? Should I rip this out or should I just leave it and we're going to call it a day? That kind of looks cool. And then if I had this one up here, it kind of just looks like a whole mosh podge. 12 inches? Do we have 12 inches? That's all I want to know. 15 inches. So technically that's 12 inches. But then I don't have a hem for the skirt. But I could piece that in. And then what about if we added, I have an idea. What about if we add this fabric here and do a big block? Like maybe I have like a 5-inch piece, 5 by 5, and then a 5 by 5 of this. What do you think about that? So then I have this little quilt block that is my challenge to try to make, which is right there. How cool. Now that's looking better. I'm liking that. I could even make the skirt 15 inches long. Heaven forbid. And then I think for a hem, I would probably, I could just hem it like that. That looks fine. What do you think? So if I do a 5-inch, this, whatever size this is. So this is like actually about a 7 by, well, it should be 8, but who's counting? It's about a 7.5 by 7.5. So if I cut a 7.5 by 7.5 out of each of these and then put one here and then maybe this one up here, I think I'm getting the visual. Got it? And then on this side, I'll put this down here and this up here. What do you think? Is it a go? Or do I need to redo some of these so these actually match up correctly? I think I actually like them. And we're going to leave it at that. Whew. Well, what do you think? Is it going to work? Looks great. Thanks. I think it's a go. Now that I can finish because I'm almost finished with the quilt block. And I might actually make another one and serge the edges because if I wash this once, it's going to fray like a hot mess. It's definitely unique, Sally. I got that going for me. Yeah. Okay, let's call it a go. I agree. I just saw some. Remember to count in your seam allowances when measuring your blocks. You know, Lee, I hate to say it. I actually thought I did, but I must have counted wrong when I did that because they're not matching. So for my next blocks, I will add the seam allowances. Thank you for that one. Wanda, I'd feel accomplished just to have my pants on and my hair combed. Well, Wanda, if you watch the beginning of this accomplishment for both of us today. Okay, so tomorrow the finished product for this is going to be on the Brother Sews page for Facebook Live and YouTube Live. I think it's at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Matthew, with his commentaries. So I missed him today because I think I would have been crying. I would have been laughing so hard. If you haven't seen that episode, it was pretty funny. Oh, make sure the 1/4 inch seam allowances, yes. Oh, Patricia, that's a good idea. I think I should do that tomorrow. Maybe he has to do one opposite of what I'm doing. I like that. Elsa, she likes the darker of triangles facing inside. I kind of like that too. So I have quite a few more already cut out and sewn together. So I think I'm going to at least sew them enough that I have other blocks to move around and kind of see. So you're just going to have to wait and see what comes up. I'll post it on Instagram. For those of you, here's my Instagram, because it's easier to post to Insta story on there. It'll be on the Facebook Insta story too, but here's, let's see. I'll put it up so in case you need to find me. There's my website. Some of you asked for that. And where is, oh, that fan feels so good. Here we go. There you go. There's the Instagram. All right, guys. So that was a wrap for today. I really wanted, though, to show off some of the work that you've been doing for the Angela Wolf patterns. So we're going to have to save that till next week. But so the rest of the week's schedule, this afternoon at 4 o'clock is our couture jacket class, where we are officially launching the class. Last week we went through supplies. I'm going to be popping into Fashion Sewing Club because all of the fabric for leggings is here. And that was free to all Fashion Sewing Club members. So if you'd like to become a member, it's free to members during the month of May. So you just have a few more days. I think it's, here you go. There's the Fashion Sewing Club. And I think that's about it. So I'm going to go sew this up, and I will see you guys later today. And tomorrow is Matthew at 4 p.m. on the Brother page. So if you guys have any questions, you can always message me. I'm reading some of your... Get cooled. I agree. Oh, thanks, Belle. Okay, Kay, I'll check your questions. On Instagram, Lorraine, I'm Angela at Angela Wolf Fashion on Instagram. I haven't posted in a little while. I usually just post stories, but you'll get to see this into action, right? See you later today, Angie. Oh, Pam's got an ice dyeing class, which is going to be very cool. I'm just saying goodbye on your way out, so I know some of you are hanging. Okay, Dee, no pressure, right? All right, guys. Well, have a wonderful day, and this has been a lot of fun. So stay cool, take a fan, and always make a note before you go live. Make sure you have pants on. That is the moral of the story today. All right. Bye, guys.